Come on, let's talk about the inheritance already. I couldn't believe my sister was saying this. How much do you think I'll get from Grandpa's inheritance? Let's say it's $1 million. She used to be so sweet as a child. When did she become so obsessed with money? My name is Annette, and I'm 35 years old. Dedicated to my job and single, I have no plans of getting married anytime soon, and I'm enjoying my single life. My work, I'm a caregiver. As many say, caregiving is indeed a tough job. There are numerous tasks, and establishing a rapport with clients can be challenging. There are times when it's physically and emotionally draining. However, Annette, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. Just hearing words of gratitude like that uplifts my spirit. It makes me feel that choosing this profession was worth it. Annette, is it time for you to clock out? I'll take over from here. As I was washing used towels, my colleague called out to me. Sorry to always rely on you. Could you handle the rest? Sure, take care. It's 5 p.m. The woman who clocked in after me is on the night shift until morning. Though I should be doing night shifts too, I have my reasons for not being able to. That my workplace understands this, I'm really grateful. After showing appreciation for the night shift staff, I hurriedly make my way home. My house is about a 20-minute drive from work. Grandma, I'm home. Oh, Annette. Grandma was busy preparing Grandpa's meal. Have you eaten, Grandma? Not yet. Let's have dinner, all three of us, with Grandpa. Sounds good. I live with my grandparents, primarily to care for Grandpa. It might be rare for a grandchild to serve as a caregiver, but it was entirely my choice to move into their home. I lost my mother at a young age, and my dad was often busy with work, so my younger sister Lucia and I were frequently left in the care of our paternal grandparents. I loved their comforting home, full of kindness. But Lucia didn't feel the same. She was often rebellious toward them. This house feels so old-fashioned. Even Grandma's clothes are outdated and ugly. Every time she acted like this, both my dad and I reprimanded her, but she didn't care. She seemed to have forgotten all the favors she received from them, acting recklessly. The only time she acted sweetly was when asking for an allowance. My grandparents, doting as they were, would inevitably give in to Lucia. This was a pattern, always. Even after she started working, Lucia would come asking for money whenever she ran out. When she got married 5 years ago, she even demanded a $10,000 wedding gift. At that point, both Dad and I harshly scolded her for her greed. What do you think you're doing with Grandma and Grandpa? Huh? It's my wedding, isn't it? What's wrong with them giving generously? My sister, as usual. You need to stop this. You're being way too selfish. Dad scolded her firmly, but in the end, Grandpa and Grandma gifted her $10,000 for her wedding. I tried to stop them, saying it wasn't necessary, but they insisted. It's fine. It's a celebration after all. If she'd at least shown some gratitude, that would have been something, but both my sister and her husband acted like they deserved it. That's why I never really liked my sister and her husband. After her wedding, I decided to keep a comfortable distance. Being too involved would only stress me out. 2 years ago, Grandpa had a stroke and became bedridden. We discussed putting him in a facility, but Grandma was adamantly against it. I'll take care of Grandpa till the end. Grandpa and Grandma have always been close, even in my eyes. It would hurt too much to separate them. But Grandma is over 80 now. It's tough for her to take care of him alone. So I made a decision. I'll move in with them. I owe them so much. They raised me, and more than anything, I want to give back. So now as a professional caregiver and as their grandchild, I'm here to support them. I requested a job transfer and moved into this house. Now I'm taking turns with Grandma to care for Grandpa. That's why I turned down night shifts at my current job. I can't thank my workplace enough for accommodating me, because you are listening to my selfishness. Grandpa looks happy today, Grandma said, wiping Grandpa's body. I think so too. It feels like he's smiling. Though bedridden and unable to speak, we felt like we understood how Grandpa was feeling that day. Life's a grind, but doing it for Grandpa and Grandma makes it all worth it. That's how much I adore my grandparents. One day, while Grandma was out at a tea party with her friends, I stayed home to take care of Grandpa's meals. Grandpa, is it good? Grandpa doesn't say a word, but his gentle eyes seem to express his gratitude. Just then, the front door swings open, pretty roughly. Oh, you're here, sis! What brings you here? It was Lucia, walking in without any hesitation. Even though she's family, her visit made me uneasy. I just came to check on Grandpa. As if she really cares about him, I thought, but I kept my mouth shut. So, how's Grandpa doing? Nothing's changed, really. She inquires, but clearly doesn't seem all that interested. By the way, where is Grandma? She's out. Need something? No big deal, just asking. I wonder what she's up to. Man, this house sure is old-fashioned. Lucia starts sizing up the house like she's evaluating it. I felt some kind of ulterior motive and became more guarded. Hey, did Grandma tell you anything? Tell me what? About Grandpa's inheritance? That left me flabbergasted. Grandpa's still alive, for heaven's sake. Why would she bring up something so insensitive? There is a limit to being unscrupulous. Why are you so concerned about this? Look, if we wait until he's gone, it'll be chaos. Better to talk about it now, don't you think? That's enough. Is this why you showed up? To discuss something like this? What's wrong with it? We have to discuss it sometime. Why are you even involved in a conversation about inheritance? Things escalated into an argument right then and there. I knew exactly what Lucia was after. She just wants money all the time. My sister's greed is really disappointing, to say the least. While we're arguing, "Oh, you're here?" Grandma comes home. "Grandma, long time no see." My sister cozies up to Grandma like it's the most natural thing in the world. Grandma gives me a wry smile. "By the way, Grandma, could you spare some cash? I'm really strapped this month." Seeing Grandma's troubled face, I intervene. "What are you saying? You're a grown adult. Just shut it. I'm talking to Grandma here." "But Grandma, she's struggling." "That's not your concern. I'm the one she's asking." My sister looks up at Grandma with a beguiling smile. She's practically broadcasting her "give me money" vibe. It's really tacky. "I've just paid the neighborhood association fees, so I'm short on cash. Sorry, dear." Grandma skillfully sidesteps my sister's request. "Ugh, is that so? Alright then, I'm leaving." Lucia backs down quickly and leaves. Relieved, I look at Grandma. "Grandma, I'm sorry." "There's nothing for you to apologize for, Annette. I bought some treats. Let's enjoy them together." Grandma smiles warmly. My sister is a real piece of work. What's she so strapped for cash for? Both of us have jobs, and neither of us have kids, so why is she asking for money? I found out soon enough. Unbeknownst to me and Dad, she and her husband had bought a house, and not just any house, a new, expansive, single-family home. Already under construction and set to be finished in 6 months. And it's located in prime real estate, no less. Are they really going to be okay building such a big house there? Dad said he didn't contribute any money, so perhaps her in-laws are helping. No point in worrying about it. If they bought the place, they must have passed the loan screening and have a repayment plan in place. That's what I thought. Until... Just as her new home was nearing completion, Grandpa passed away. Pneumonia took him quickly. I loved Grandpa, so I cried throughout the funeral. Grandma was the one who consoled me. "Grandpa was happy, Annette, especially with all the care you gave him. So let's send him off with a smile, not tears." Grandpa was happy. That single phrase gave me immense relief. Grandma's calm face was deeply comforting. Then, at a family gathering after the funeral, as Dad, Grandma, and I were reminiscing about Grandpa, my sister seemed restless next to us, whispering with her husband, both clearly unsettled. Then, with a look of determination, Lucia speaks up. "Hey, what about Grandpa's inheritance?" The room went ice cold at her words. We had just come back from the funeral, and now this? Dad quickly tried to stop Lucia. "What on earth are you talking about?" "But we need to discuss this, now!" Lucia repeats what she used to say when Grandpa was alive. Is money all she thinks about? Let's sit down and talk, okay? My sister seemed eager to move the conversation forward. Considering the size of this property and its value, it should be roughly around $1 million. When did she even have the time to look that up? Dad and I were taken aback, but Grandma just sipped her coffee calmly. "So, when is that payment due?" "Would you stop that already?" I tried to stop her, but Lucia wouldn't shut up. "We based our mortgage on the inheritance. We've got to get what's coming to us." My sister's husband nodded in agreement. These two really don't have a clue. I decided to drop a bombshell on them. "Grandchildren hardly have any inheritance rights, you know." "What?" My sister let out a baffled cry. "What are you misunderstanding here?" Dad asked her, puzzled. "What do you mean? Why?" Lucia asked Grandma, confused. Dad jumped in. "Spouses and children are the inheritors, not grandchildren. Maybe when we pass, you could be next in line." "No way! I didn't know that!" My sister looked like she couldn't believe it. "What about a will? Did Grandpa leave a will?" "No will. Dad always said the estate would be divided according to the law." "So what are we going to do about our house payment?" My sister and her husband looked devastated. "What payment are you talking about?" That's when my sister dropped this on me. We set a higher down payment because we thought Grandpa's inheritance was coming, and that payment is due next month. Lucia started freaking out. Apparently, they had stretched themselves thin to get that new house. I assumed they'd gotten help from my sister's in-laws, but they'd actually borrowed up to their limit. They'd planned to put down a $100,000 down payment, and now everything was off. Is there really no money left for me? Isn't there a little bit left? Despite asking Dad and Grandma again, the result was the same. No matter how much she fusses, the law won't change. Well, if there's anything left after Mom and us siblings get our share, then maybe a little will go to you, Dad said. This sent my sister into a full-on rage. This is ridiculous! All these years, my sister has been using Grandpa's money, and now I get nothing? My sister turned her anger towards me. Stop making stuff up! I never did that. Liar! You said you were caring for him, but you were really just after his inheritance. I couldn't believe my sister was thinking that way. I was at a loss for words. So, you thought it was odd, huh? Volunteering to take care of Grandpa instead of our parents. Can't think of any reason other than money. That's it! You should pay the down payment on our house. You've been siphoning money from Grandpa, haven't you? She hurled those words at me with a smug look on her face. Angry and sad, I just clenched my lips, unable to say anything. Then Grandma, who had been quietly sipping her coffee, spoke up. How dare you speak to Annette like that? You foolish grandchild! Everyone was shocked by Grandma's usually gentle and calm tone. Relying on that kind of money to build a house is wrong in the first place, isn't it? But Grandma, we're really in a bind. Figure it out yourselves. Rebuked sternly by Grandma, Lucia fell silent. You need to reconsider how you're living your life. You're on a path to ruin, Dad added. Shaken, Lucia and her husband left, as if running away. Afterward, they couldn't make the down payment in time and tried to restructure the loan, but they were not approved. They never even set foot in the newly built house before they had to give it up. My sister resisted tearfully, but there was nothing she could do. In the end, they were left with a debt of $200,000. My sister lamented, I should have never bought the house. But it was too late. I heard they're now working day and night to pay off their debts. It's astonishing that they don't understand the basics of inheritance. After giving up the house, my sister came several times to ask Dad for money, but Dad firmly refused. She even turned to me. Sis, please help your cute little sister. Cute sister, huh? I too declined, saying, sorry, I can't afford to. I do have enough savings, but I see no obligation to lend it, especially with no assurance of getting it back. Why won't you help me? I'm in trouble. Despite her pleading, I remained unswayed. Take this as a lesson. Stop relying on others. I gave her some advice, but who knows if it'll sink in. By the way, Grandma, what is it? A month and a half later, I asked Grandma something that had been on my mind. Why did you say that to Lucia? I was stunned to hear Grandma's harsh tone, since I'd never seen her angry or yelling before. Because she was so unkind to you, Annette, when you've been so good to Grandpa. No matter how much I love my granddaughter, I couldn't forgive her for what she said to you. Tears filled my eyes, touched that Grandma thought so highly of me. Thank you, Annette. Grandma, I should be the one thanking you. If I'm gone someday, I think I'll leave this house and land to you, Annette. Oh, stop talking like that. I'm happy to have such a loving granddaughter. I have no regrets whenever my time comes. Though Grandma says this, I want her to live for as long as possible. That's what fills my thoughts. I plan to continue showing my gratitude to Grandma. Grandma, let's keep it going.